Welcome to the Random Green Podcast. Thank you all for stopping by and listening to this amazing podcast. Well, it's probably not that amazing. We'll just wait and see how amazing it really is, because obviously it's not the best, but it's not the worst. Well, it's the worst. Yeah, whatever. It's a podcast. But in today's podcast world, who knows what's the worst, what's the best. But anyway, I'll get to the point. We have a very special guest on the Random Green Podcast. None other than Sylvester Stallone's brother, Frank Stallone. Now, Frank Stallone, thank you very much for coming on this podcast. I want to interview you, but you told me before this podcast began that you would want to sing. So, Frank, thank you. This is all going to be the rest of your show. Well, it's going to be the rest of your my show, of course. But you're going to take over, and you're going to sing a great song that you made up, or you wrote actually a little while ago. When did you write this amazing song? Was it back in the 1980s, like 1987 or something like that? Maybe 1988, somewhere around that time frame.
Yeah, that's back in 1988. Yeah, but thank you, thanks for inviting me on your channel. Thank you for inviting me to this amazing podcast. Yes, but I want to sing a song. Here goes. Thank you again, Random Green. Oh, hey, I wanna, hey, give the peace a chance. All we are saying is give peace a chance. Right, please. That's all we are saying. Give peace a chance. Hey, it's your choice, people. Please. All we are sings, give peace chance. Thank you. Wow, that was beautiful, Frank Stallone. That was an amazing song. There should be no dry eyes listening to this podcast. This is truly amazing. Wow, you truly are a star, and you've got millions of dollars for singing. It's unbelievable. Frank Stallone, you're a voice of a generation. 10 billion generations couldn't match your amazing voice. That is truly amazing, Frank Stallone.
Wait a minute. Now, Frank, I thought you were the only one coming on this podcast. Now your brother Sylvester's here. Hey, Rocky, how's it going?
Hey, Ryan, what the right door? Hey, well,
All right, thank you very much. This podcast is getting a little out of control. Okay. All right, thank you for listening to the Random Green Podcast. You all have a great day. And I'd like to thank my guests, Frank and Sylvester Stallone. It was originally going to be Frank, but of course, Sylvester Stallone had a... But again, Rocky, I mean, he's always invited on this podcast. If any of you that are stars listening to this podcast, you're invited onto this podcast. Just again, get in touch with me through a comment or an email, and that would be great to hear from you. Again, thank you for listening to the best podcast in the universe, the Random Green Podcast. Maybe not the most popular, but the best podcast you never heard of. Okay, This is Random Green. Thank you very much for listening to the podcast.